Well, another part of Helper Utah, we got a sneak peek view inside a motorcycle museum slash everything. This place is amazing. We're going to give you a look inside, but if you're ever in Helper Utah, maybe see if you can't check out some of this. There's a ton of history. They sell some cool shirts, they sell some photography, some canvas paintings, pictures, and a lot of history of the town here. But we're going to give you a quick look and just of the history of the town inside this as well. But let's give you a quick look inside here. So this sign is one of the original signs in here, has been here for years. You see all the old original brick. The place was restored over a few years, so it's all been redone. The wood floors are amazing. So they also have an Airbnb upstairs. So if you're ever coming through town, or this will be the next place that we'll stay. There's an Airbnb upstairs, or in the gas station that we took photos of, there's an Airbnb in here as well. But there are cars, so all these paintings are for sale. Just really cool inside. Shirts, but just a collectible. So if you're into old Harleys, documentation, everything on here, this is a place that you want to stop. So this motorcycle here, their father actually rode this. He was there on the day of Pearl Harbor. So this motorcycle was from Hawaii. Their father rode this at that time in Hawaii during Pearl Harbor, all that time. So you'll see original pictures. A lot of real neat signs. And we'll take you out here real quick. Oh.
That's called a magazine door. Oh yeah,
Before you.
it says danger, no smoking, all of that as you're going down the steps.
That is super cool.
That's from the coal mines door. Look how heavy duty it is. Now I can flip that light switch right there.
The first one?
No, the
Second?
Yeah,
Okay.
and now you can go in, but
That's cool.
it's nice and cool.
Wow.
So now every single part to build a Harley Davidson is down here and it's miles of parts. But it's all organized, that's why we don't call American Pickers.
Right.
Because we don't really sell this stuff.
Well, I'm sure you don't. Well, I do my Wolf's cars, so I know how he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then let me light up the next one, you can go in there.
All the old frames.
Old frames, old Springer front ends over here. These are worth ungodly amounts, but see, those are the tow hitches for the three-wheelers. This is 1928, how girls made breakfast and how they made dinner. But the hole in the desk is for kids to dip their pens in those days.
Wow.
This is the oldest motorcycle in the whole building, but I don't know what it is. Look how thin the brakes are.
Wow.
Looks like a bicycle frame.
It does.
There's old pedal cars and tricycles and stuff.
How long have you guys been collecting all this?
That's for years. My brother's just kind of collected this old stuff. These are from the Blue Plate Diner, Salt Lake City, 1929. Now we have restored ones of those down in Nell's Soda Shop. My brother just restored that building, the Helper Bank.
Holy cow.
Yeah, look at this. How old is this building again?
1906.
1906.
Yeah.
I like the old skis up here.
Yeah, they just need some wax.
This is so cool.
Yeah. These are the Main Street light poles that came, found them in Price. We'll put them back up on one of these buildings out here. But that's the furnace that heats the radiators for upstairs.
Huh.
This is too cool.
The history is so awesome.
Wow.
That old car.
Oh, look at this old Dodge.
Yeah, that's an old wheel cover.
That old wheel cover is
I like
too
the old,
cool.
look at the old toy, that
Now
airplane
that
and
thing,
everything.
just so you know, a guy my age fixed that thing. It was flat as a pancake, and he says, I'm going to use this style called pick and file, and he brought it back to shape. There's a mint one over there that's unrestored, but I can't believe the guy saved that thing. It was flat as a pancake. You see that other plane over here somewhere?
Oh, there it is. Oh, that is the
Yeah,
coolest
those are
thing.
worth a few $100 for those metal airplanes. That's back when planes had propellers.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
Old pedal cover. See, girls go, I can't believe it was that heavy to iron clothes, but see, this unplugs, so you can plug that into the waffle machine. If you didn't have electricity, you had to iron clothes with that kind of an iron back there. Had to put it on your stove. or
Right.
something.
Oh, it is heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, and so this is all from Spring Glen down the street, the next town over. It's the Blue Hill Dairy, but they went out of business. That's when they delivered milk to your house every day. Now the government made us put these in because there's an Airbnb upstairs to make sure this will never cave in. These are all welded by coal mining guys, so it's solid.
Oh, what year is this?
That's gotta be from the teens, but I don't know what it is. I haven't researched it out. Looks like a bicycle.
But it's got like a filler tube here as well.
Yeah, that's where the gas cap would have went
Yeah.
there. Yes.
Super cool. Super cool.
Now these are all old parts from the 1930s Beehive. These are Beehive taillights. Then the 1940s Tombstone Harley taillights. Now these are the air filters for the engine, but that's what's underneath. It looks like Brillo pads. You're supposed to wash them out with like kerosene or something back in the day. Oh, the old chrome. This is 1 year only, 1938. Little pieces of stainless steel. You have to drill holes in the fender to mount these pieces of stainless steel. So they quit making that. It's kind of a pain. If you drill a hole off at all, it would look crooked. These are neon
Oh, I
parking
like that.
signs.
That's wild.
A lot of old saddlebags and horns, different year bugle horns. A guy copied these to put on modern Harleys, and they had like 59 Cadillac pointy taillights. But the old ones, you could tell they didn't have light sockets. So a guy says, I'm gonna make these. He spent like $12,000 on patents to put new signal lights for a new Harley.
Wow.
This is really old sign. That's Coke signs and beauty shop signs.
Super cool.
Now this is carved in the floor down here. You gotta read it upside down from the standing over there. It says Harry G. Kissamatakis. April 30, 1944 was the Reese Market upstairs. Now, the Railroad Mining Museum, if you haven't visited that, they're the ones that looked up this name to see who that was. They said that was a 14-year-old boy that carved that during World War II, but he had a sad life. I go, what happened to that kid? And they go, well, he got killed in a 3-car wreck in Los Angeles. So at least he had fun when he was a teenager.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if you had to get out of here during Prohibition, this is the tunnels. All these buildings had like secret passageways. This was a way to get out, but now we use it for this modern sprinkler system for if it gets hot right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, weird.
Where would that have gone? Underground
Just goes
somewhere?
out to Main Street somewhere, it's probably to the post office or something. Yeah.
Just history in here. The history in
I mean,
here.
look how weird it is for a fire extinguisher. That's supposed to put out a fire on your Harley. Just a little baby fire extinguisher. And these are the police sirens. They say Harley Davidson, but they rub on your tires. That's what makes the siren go. It's not electrical.
That's so cool.
This is just so you see, this is 1938. It's called a skull dash. It looks like a human skull. It holds those speedometers in here. 1939 is the cat's eye dashboards. But this is interesting here for the speedometers. A regular speedometer has this little plate on it. This speedometer has this electrical thing. Go, what does that do? That's for police bikes. So if he was speeding, police officer pushes a button, sends electricity down there, locks the needle in place. He'll say, you get out of the car, you were doing 80 miles an hour. Now, when these sit in here, notice that some of these covers have a plug, some have the plug popped out. The ones with the plug popped out are for these police speedometers. So now, through that little hole, we press a little brass button, and it resets us back to a normal speedometer. So one button on the handlebar locks the needle in place. The one through the side releases the needle.
So the police could tell you you're doing anything you...
Right, that was before they had real radar. Then here's your oil tanks, gas tanks, chain guards. You don't see these on Harleys upstairs. They go on the crash bar. So if you had to go to work and it's snowing out, it keeps your legs warm, keeps the engine heat on your legs. But if you leave that on the bike on a day like today, you're gonna overheat the engine. That's why guys don't leave those on there. Now this is kind of interesting. These are for the Army bikes, different gun holders. They're not all Thompson machine guns. Some are M1 Grand rifles. Now here's a regular Harley seat. You're supposed to take this, set it where the gas tanks are on your bike. Set this on there for little babies to ride on. But look, it doesn't bolt to anything. It just sits on the gas tank. Hope the baby doesn't flip off. Then you got this seat here is a 1 year only 1994 Heritage Nostalgia made out of cows. Wow. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
You gotta really know what you're looking at. I mean,
these are tons of old. Those are called kidney toolboxes for a Harley. Those are the tombstone toolboxes for a Harley. And those are early, like 1930s or 20s toolboxes. And here's a starter pedals. You start the engine with these. So Indian is kind of a block of rubber to start. The Harleys had bicycle pedal looking deals to start your engine with. Wow. Just tons of old ignition switches and horn buttons. Just tons of old parts.
And you guys have just collected and collected and collected over
Yeah,
the
now
years.
see this stuff, just so you learn history. Helper, see these boxes?
Yeah.
If you had to go to work to the coal mine, they didn't have roads, so you had to put these on the back of your donkey to get to work, and you could put your food or whatever. But see how it's not metal, it won't dig into the donkey's sides and stuff. It's all old boxes they would transport to go to work. Yeah.
We have it a lot better now, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit better now.
Well, there's more fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
What were the little trailers here for? Like these?
This thing goes on those server cars upstairs. They'll hold like 600 pounds of weight. This one is a Union 76 from California. Goes on that three-wheeler that's by the Corvettes upstairs. Yeah. These are more tongue and groove boxes. The old school, how they manufacture them. That phone's from like 1901, I believe. It has the data here. Yeah. Yeah, 1901 November. Those are old neon office signs.
It's just amazing. Amazing.
But see, some of the old wiring is still up there. That's how they used to wire stuff way up here.
It's just amazing.
Too cool.
Yeah.
So if you stayed upstairs in the Lincoln Hotel, you had to sign this registry book. Kids don't write like this anymore, but that's how you had to sign in. That's for the Lincoln Hotel. Yeah. Now this door's noisy when you shut it. It's quiet when you open it. Like, listen to this. No smoking.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the tour and some of the history inside this amazing building. Thank you to the gentleman that gave us the tour. What a great surprise today that we were able to come into Helper, Utah and see just the collection, learn more history, but check this place out. Stop by Helper, Utah. It's worth it. It's beautiful.
You see this yellow light, they only need 26 of those with that option of this tow hitch. It didn't have the tow hitch, they made like 60 of those. And you go, why is it so weird? It's not that old, it's 1945. That's because they were mostly making army bikes. So if you see this picture, that's why Dad was telling me that he rode these during Pearl Harbor. His first assignment was to guard the Hawaiian Bank. Then he had to wear helmets like that. You go, what kind of helmet is that? It's a piece of cloth. But you wear those inside of an army tank because it's boiling hot inside of those tanks. So you probably wore those with a headset so you're not going deaf listening to the cannon 2 inches from your head. Well, I'll show you how they use these. There's a picture in the back of this thing. So, now, you see how that hooks onto a car, the three-wheeler? You go, why are you towing it around? These were the most expensive Harleys. The reason he's towing it is gas station guys had this. So if you said, hey, could you tune up my Buick? Gas station guy goes, okay, I'll get it running. Once he gets your car running, then he hooks his three-wheeler to your back bumper. He gets back in your car, drives it to your house. Once he gets to your house, he can unhook his three-wheeler and go back to work. That's why they had the tow hitch option. They stopped making these in 1973 because cars don't have bumpers like this that you can tow the three-wheelers. All like my Camaro, it's all plastic back there now. Now this is called a service car. They got 3-speed stick shifts with reverse transmissions. Oh, you go, oh, I could ride somebody on the back of that if you hold on to that, but that's not a foam seat. It's horse hairs inside of there. You're supposed to put your registration in there, not your wallet back in those days, so a police officer could see whose bike it was back in those days. These only go about 60 miles an hour. They're not fast or anything.
But it says speedy pickup.
Yeah.
And look at the trim pieces down the
that's
side.
stainless steel, so that'll never rust out. It'll always stay shiny.
That's
Tires are so old, they're all dry rot. I should put some tires in.
It's all right. Still looks good.
But the different engines are these. Anything with the fins on the top are called flathead motors. Then the first upgrade is a knucklehead. Looks like your knuckles. These are the more valuable Harleys, are the knuckleheads. That happens to be 1947. It's the last year knucklehead. 1948 is this red bike here. It has a different engine. It's called the pan head. It looks like mom's cooking pans on top. But this 1948, it's the last year of the Springer front ends. After 1948, they went to those hydraulic front ends on that white police bike. Now the next engine is this bike here, this police bike. This one's 1967. It's called a shovel head. Sort of looks like the back end of a shovel. So they call that the shovel head model.
It's amazing. And every upgrade they did probably made the bike run better. Or...
Yeah, see, that's why Indian went out of business in 1953, because they never upgraded to overhead valves. They always had these primitive lawnmower looking engines. That's all Indian never had. Yeah.
Wow.
But Indian was first. They started in 1901. Harleys came out 1903. But they're starting to make Indians now.
Yeah.
They probably cost as much as a Harley nowadays.
They do. They're expensive. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything cheap anymore.
Got that. Oh, man.
Well, I want to buy a couple shirts.